Hello, I'm Alan Powell from the Essex Bridge Center, and this is our third week of Essential Play of the Hand concepts. So this week we're going to be discussing Declare's Holdup play, right? And we have some more classes to come. This week I'm not going to give you a short little piece on combination to play on the opening lead, because Declare's Holdup play is going to be the combination we discuss on the opening lead, right? So this is going to be a circumstance where the defense leads the suit and Declare typically has the ace in that suit. And if Declare has at least one more card in that suit, you have a choice as to whether to win the trick or not, right? You have the ace, you have at least one small card, you have a choice. You can win the first trick, you can win the second trick. If you have a third card, you can win the third trick, etc. Right? So whether or not to win the first trick is going to be a decision you make. What your hope by holding up the ace for one or more tricks is that one of the defenders will run out of cards in the suit lead, right? And that will cut the communications between the two hands, right? So you're trying to exhaust one of your opponents of all the cards in that suit in the hopes that if they gain the lead later, they won't be able to take any tricks, okay? So this is an example, right? West is on lead here, and West leads the king of spades, right? Declare has 3 spades to the ace, right? So Declare can win one spade trick, right? The question is which spade trick Declare wants to win, right? So if Declare waits to the third round, so King wins the first round, Queen wins the second round, Jack forces out the ace, right? Declare must win the third one. He can't wait any longer. But by winning the third round, if we look at the right-hand side, West still has the 10 and the 6, right? But East has no more spades. So if East gains the lead, he'll have to play a different suit. He will not be able to play a spade. If West gains the lead, he's going to play those that 10-6 of spades against us, right? So the Declare's Holdup play is going to transform one of your opponents into the dangerous opponent. So West here is the dangerous opponent. He's got 2 more spades to take, right? East is not dangerous, so we can try and lose the lead to East. We can try and avoid losing the lead to West, right? If you win the ace too early, you lose your advantage, right? So let's say the king wins the first trick, the queen is played, and Declare decides to win the second trick. Well, East still has a spade, right? East has the 9 spades left. So if West gains the lead, he plays the Jack 10-6, he gets 3 more spades. If East gains the lead, he plays the 9 of spades over to his partner's Jack. West takes the Jack 10-6, and you lose 3 more spades, right? So by winning the ace too early, either on the first trick or the second trick, we fail to exhaust East of all of his spades, right? In which case, when East gets in, both opponents are dangerous at this point. We have not rendered East harmless by making him run out of spades, okay? So that's basically the garden variety holdup. You have a suit where you have only the ace, you have a few small cards to go with it, and the opponents attack it. You only have the one stopper, and your goal here is to hold up until you break the communications between the defenders, okay? So generally, this is going to be used during no trump contracts. Possible to find a use for it in suit contracts as well, but today we're just going to worry about no trump, right? Because that is where you're going to find the majority of the holdup application, okay? So let's look at an example here. So your contract is 3 no trump. We have a little auction down there, right? 1 no, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 no trump. West leads the king of hearts, right? First thing you should always do in a no trump contract, count your winners. Let's see where we are on the hand, right? Get an idea of how many more winners we need. So looking at our spades, we have the ace king, that's 2 winners, right? Looking at our hearts, we have the ace, that's 1 winner, right? Looking at our diamonds, we have a lot of potential in diamonds, but we do not have any winners yet, right? We have potentially 4 diamonds we can promote, but we do have to lose the lead in order to do that. So 0 diamond winners right now. clubs. I have the ace king. I have the jack. That's a possible finesse. But finesse is 50-50, right? So that gives me 5 winners right now. I need 4 more winners. My only place to get 4 more winners is diamonds, right? So I'm going to have to play diamonds, and I'm going to have to lose the lead. What I want to do is I want to lose the lead at a time when the person who wins the ace of diamonds hopefully cannot hurt me, right? So in this case, the opponents have led the king of hearts, right? I have 5 hearts between my 2 hands. That means the opponents have 8 hearts between their 2 hands, right? So if they have 8 hearts, the likely splits here are 4-4. They could be 5-3. They could be 6-2. 6-2 is much less likely than 5-3 or 4-4. Those are going to be your majority. So if West has 5 spades, that means East has 3 spades. In which case, what I would want to do is wait until East runs out of spades, and East will run out of spades on hearts. I keep saying spades. I want to wait till East runs out of hearts on the 3rd heart, right? So king of hearts is led, 2 from dummy, 3 from East, 7 from me, right? I let him win it. Queen of hearts is led, right? 9, 6, 8. I let him win it. Jack of hearts is led, and I have to win this one. I don't have a choice, right? So Jack low, low, I win my ace. That is now 3 rounds of hearts that have been played. And on my next slide, this is the situation after 3 rounds of hearts have been played. West has the 5 and the 4 of hearts. East has no more hearts, right? So I have successfully exhausted East of hearts, right? So now my plan was I have to lose a diamond. So I go ahead and lose a diamond, right? Best play in diamonds is probably a low diamond for my hand. I'll play the 4 over to the jack, right? High card from the short side. I play over to the jack. East might win this one. He might not, right? He can execute a hold-up play. There's no real reason for him to wait, but he might. If he lets me on the jack, I'll play the 10, right? Maybe I win that one. He has to win the 3rd one. Whichever one he chooses to win, 1, 2, or 3. He is powerless to play hearts, right? He cannot play a heart that he doesn't have. Therefore, he'll have to play a spade. I can win that in my hand. He'll have to play a club. I can win that on the board. He will undoubtedly choose a spade because he can't see the ace king in my hand, and he has the vain hope that his partner will have the ace of spades, get in and take his 2 heart tricks. So he plays a spade, I win it, and now I take all my tricks, right? I take my diamonds, I take my spades, I take my clubs. I could even finesse the club if I wanted to. It doesn't win, but I could finesse it if I wanted to because I know the only person who's going to win that finesse is East, and East doesn't have any hearts, right? So if I were going to do that, I would wait to cash my other winners before I did that so that I would have stoppers remaining, right? So the idea here is if hearts are 5 in one hand and 3 in the other, right? I wait until the 3rd round. Then one of my opponents has 2 left and is dangerous, and one of my opponents doesn't have any hearts left and is not dangerous. And then I have to hope that the ace of diamonds is in the right hand. If the ace of diamonds was in West, well, I'm going to go down, right? But so is everybody else. There's no way to avoid it. If the ace of diamonds is in East, I have successfully made my contract. All right. Now, you're probably thinking to yourselves, well, that's great if they split 5-3. What if they don't split 5-3? Well, it's entirely possible that they will split 4-4, but you will still be fine if they split 4-4. The reason being is that if they split 4-4, after I win the 3rd round, there are still 2 hearts out, but there's 1 in one hand and 1 in the other hand, and they can only take 1 trick with it, right? The thing about 4-4 is you can only take as many tricks as you have in the long hand, right? So I win the ace, that's 1, and they can get 3 more heart tricks, and they can get the ace of diamonds. And if hearts are 4-4, I can always make my contract, right? So I'm playing for the scenario that I would lose, which is when the hearts are 5-3, and I wait until the 3rd round to give myself the best chance of making it. If they're 4-4. I can't go wrong, right? So when I lose the ace of diamonds here, East will take the 10 of hearts, but that is his last trick, and that means only 4 tricks for the defense, and I will make it, right? So I'm working with both sides of the odds. You know, the losing case is when the ace of diamonds is in the hand with 5 hearts, right? And when that is the case, I'll go down. Okay, 4-4. I'm fine. All right, let's look at another example. So this one, I've only made one small change here, and that is the opening lead is the king of spades. It says king of hearts there, but it's king of spades, right? And I have, in this case, one more spade between my two hands, right? I have 6 of them. That leaves 7 for my opponents, right? So that's a little bit different. So let's take a moment, count our winners. Spades, I have the ace, that's 1, right? Hearts, ace king, that's 2. Diamonds, same scenario as last time. I have 4 potential diamond tricks, but I do not have the ace, so I have no winners right now, right? Clubs, I have the ace king queen, right? Maybe that 4th one will be good, maybe it won't be good, I can't tell. But I have at least 3 club winners. That's 6. I need 3 more tricks. The only place I'm going to get 3 more tricks is diamonds, right? So turning our attention to spades, the question is, which spade should I win here, right? So in this case, I have 6 spades together between me and dummy, right? Between hand and dummy. And that leaves 7 for the opponents, right? So the possible splits out there are 4-3, which is actually the most likely, right? 5 and 2, right? It's not 5-3, it's 5-2 because they only have 7 of them, which is next most likely. And then we get to the 6 ones and the 7 O's, and those just aren't likely enough to matter in our calculations. So we're going to have to think about when they're 5-2 and when they're 4-3. So when they're 5-2, I have to be careful because one person has 5 spades, right? And therefore, after they knock out my ace, they could take 4 spade tricks. 4 spade tricks plus the ace of diamonds will beat my contract. So I need to make sure that I don't let them take 4 spade tricks if possible, right? So I only have to hold this one up once because if the king is led, right, and West has 5 of them, that means East has 2, right? I have 1 more between my 2 hands, so that changes my calculation here, right? So king is led, low, low, duck, right? Queen is played, low, low, ace. And at that point, we have played 2 rounds of spades and East no longer has any spades, right? So this is your position after the first 2 spade tricks. Declare has just won the ace at the second trick. East, you can see, out of spades, right? Same principle as last time. We play our diamonds, right? So we leave the low diamond over to the jack. Forces the ace, right? High card from the short side. East will take the ace on the trick of his choosing, first, second, or third. Doesn't matter to us. We'll just keep playing diamonds until he takes it. Let's assume he wins the first one. He'll probably then, clubs don't look appetizing. He can't play a spade. So he's going to try a heart, but we have the ace king of hearts. So he plays a heart. We win the heart, right? And we are able to take all our diamonds, all our clubs, etc. Okay. So on this particular hand, if spades are 5 in one hand and 2 in the other, we can exhaust the person with 2 by just ducking 1 round and winning the second round. If the person, again, with the ace of diamonds has the 3 spades, if the ace of diamonds was in West here, we'd go down, right? But there was nothing we could do about it. We were going to go down no matter what. Okay. If the ace of diamonds is in the hand that has no more spades, that's great. If spades are 4-3, well, it's similar to the situation we talked about with the 4-4. If they're 4-3, that means the maximum one person had was 4 cards in the suit. My ace took 1 of those 4. The most tricks he can take is 3, plus the ace of diamonds is 4. He can't defeat my contract. So I hold up once. I play diamonds, right? He wins the ace of diamonds. And if East turns up with a 3rd spade, that means West had only 4 spades, right? So 4 goes to the jack, 5 wins, but That's not enough tricks to beat the contract. 5-2 beats the contract. I need to make sure that I hold up so that 5-2 doesn't beat me if possible. 4-3, I don't need to worry about because it can't beat me anyway. Okay. So how do you decide how many tricks to hold up, right? We saw one example with one example with two. One example, where you held up once, one example where you held up twice, and one the third. Unfortunately, there's no secret formula. There have been, attempts to create a rule. I'm not going to quote any of them. Unfortunately, none of them are going to beat using logic. You have to consider a lot of things. You have to consider how many cards the opponents have in the suit, right? The possible distributions, the ones that beat you, the ones that don't beat you, right? And figure out the proper time to win the first trick. You have to consider how many times you have to lose the lead. Sometimes that will make a difference to you, right? And you have to, consider how you're going to keep the dangerous opponent off lead in the future, if possible. On some hands, it's not possible to keep the dangerous opponent off lead. So you have to either take another plan or accept that you're not going to be able to do it, right? But you might just try a different strategy, even if it's a lower percentage, because you can't hold up long enough, right? So there's no secret formula here. I wish there were. I wish I could tell you, plug in the number of stoppers plus the number of cards, plus whether it's Wednesday or Friday, et cetera, and this is the number of card times you should hold up. There's just not a magic number here. Okay, so you're just going to have to work with logic, understand how suits break, how many cards each person will have, and when is the right time to win. All right, it's going to take time and practice. Once you've executed your hold-up play, one of your opponents will at that point be considered dangerous, right? So we spent quite a bit of time last week on the dangerous opponent, and we were working with different techniques to keep the dangerous opponent off lead. And any of those will apply in these situations, right? When you execute a hold-up play, you're doing it because you're trying to exhaust one opponent, and he won't be dangerous because he's out of the suit. And one opponent will have winners to cash in that suit. He will be dangerous. You want to keep him off lead. So hoping that the dangerous opponent doesn't have the ace you have to lose, not really a technique, but it is necessary to try it, right? And you got a 50-50 shot, right? There's a 50-50 shot that East has the ace or West has the ace. And examples 1 and 2 were similar, showing that idea, right? You executed your hold up, you lost the trick you had to lose, and you hoped that you lost it to the non-dangerous opponent and that the dangerous opponent was kept off lead. But there are methods that we studied to keep the dangerous opponent off lead, right? A two-way finesse. You can, with a two-way finesse, you're finessing for the queen, and you can finesse it either hand for the queen. And that way you can choose who would win it if the finesse lost, right? And if East is dangerous, you finesse East and you let West win it or not if he has it, right? If West is dangerous, you finesse West and you let East win the queen if he has it or doesn't have it, right? So two-way finesse is a way that you can automatically choose which opponent gets the lead, right? Avoidance plays, that's a situation where you have to lose a trick in the suit, but you are trying to lose it to the person in the right direction, right? You have the ace, the king, the 10, the 9, etc., and you lead low and you put in the 9 so that only one opponent can win it, right? Or you lead low and you put in the 10 so that only the other opponent can win it. And by choosing which opponent wins it, you stay away from the dangerous opponent, right? Safety plays we talked about a little bit. The 8 ever 9 never concept with the two-way finesse. Sometimes instead of playing for the drop, instead of playing off the ace king, you finesse the player that is dangerous, giving up a little small percentage of success in order that the right opponent doesn't, the correct opponent wins the trick. If the dangerous opponent is kept off lead, that is more important to you than losing a trick slightly more often, right? So those are things we talked about last week. So you can review those from last week. They are methods to keep the dangerous opponent off lead, right? The hold up play is going to most of the time create one dangerous opponent and one non-dangerous opponent. Okay. So let's look at a couple more examples here. This example, your opening lead is the queen of spades, right? Let's contract, the auction was 1-0-3-0, so nothing illuminative about it, right? West has led the queen of spades. We should take a moment, count our winners. Spades, we have the ace and only the ace, right? That's 1. Hearts, ace, king is 2. Diamonds, ace, king is 2. But diamonds, I have 8 cards in the suit and I have potential, right? As a matter of fact, I have a 2-way finesse in diamonds. I could finesse either person for the queen of diamonds. Clubs, I have the ace, king. I don't have the 10 to back up the jack, so I don't have a finesse here. So diamonds are, clubs don't have real potential. Clubs, I have the ace, king. I don't have the 10 to back up the jack, right? So finessing isn't going to work. They would just cover jack, queen, king, and I don't have the 10. The 9. So that 1, 2, 2, 2, that is 7 winners. I need 2 more winners. Best place for me behind 2 more winners is diamonds, right? Even if I lost 1 diamond, as long as I knocked out the queen, I would still have the ace, the king, the 10, the 9, right? So losing 1 diamond, I will still have enough tricks to make my contract. So the question here is, which trick do I win, right? Which trick do I want to win here, right? So they lead the queen of spades. I have 5 spades between my 2 hands. I have, therefore the opponents have 8 spades. So the situation I have to worry about is when one opponent has 5 and the other one has 3, because the one hand that has 5, once I lose the ace, they could take 4 spades. Plus, if I lost the queen of diamonds, that would be 5 tricks, right? If spades are 4-4, I don't have to worry about this hand. I can make this hand no matter what if spades are 4-4, right? Because my ace will take one of those 4, and the max they can take is 3 spades and possibly the queen of diamonds, right? So I'm going to play for the scenario that I'm worried about, and that is 5 spades in one hand and 3 in the other. So opening lead is the queen. Dummy plays the 2. East should play the 6 as a positive attitude signal, right? And I duck, right? I'll play the 5. They lead the jack. 4 from dummy. East might put the king on this one to unblock it. Probably the right play. I duck that one too. And then on the 3rd round, I win my ace, right? And at that point, East has run out of spades, right? So at that point, we are looking at this position here, right? The only person who has spades is West. West has the 10-8 of spades. West gains the lead. I'm sunk, right? So I would like to make sure that West doesn't gain the lead. So I need to play diamonds to set up tricks, but I have a 2-way finesse. So what I will do is I will finesse the diamonds in such a way through West so that only East will win the diamond, right? So in this case, I just won the ace of spades in my hand. I'll probably just start with the jack, right? And West plays low, and I play low from dummy, right? And the only person who can win that trick is East. East wins the queen, right? But East cannot play a spade. East doesn't play either heart or club. Probably try heart. Doesn't work. I win it. And now I have all my diamond tricks. I have my heart tricks, my club tricks, and I will make it, right? So the dangerous opponent was West. I took my 2-way diamond finesse such that West would not win the trick. Even if it lost, it did lose, but I still make my contract, right? Now, I do note that if you took the diamond finesse the other way, if you started with the ace of diamonds and then you finessed the jack and you played the king, that you would, in fact, take one more trick. But you would take one more trick and still be wrong, right? Because if you play the ace of diamonds from dummy and then you play a low diamond to the jack and West happens to have the queen, he takes the queen, he takes the 10 of spades, the 8 of spades, and you go down. So we're choosing to lose only to East. It's still 50-50 for us, right? There's a chance of success here. West could have had the queen of diamonds and the finesse wins. But if it loses, I'm losing to the person who can't hurt me, right? So the hold up play here creates a dangerous opponent in West. And then I take my two-way finesse so that the dangerous opponent does not win. The non-dangerous opponent wins, and I make my contract. Okay. Another example here. So here we do have a little bit of bidding to look at. East opens 2 spades, right? South bids 2 no trump, pass. North bids 3 no trump, pass, pass, pass. All right. So the contract is 3 no trump. Unsurprisingly, West leads the queen of spades, right? And we should take a moment and count our winners. How many winners do we have? We have ace of spades is 1, right? Ace king of hearts is 2 more. Ace king of diamonds is 2 more. Diamonds, I have potential, right? I have 8 diamonds between my 2 hands, right? So as long as I get a break, I could play ace king and a 3rd diamond, right? And by losing 1 diamond, I could create 2 diamond winners. Clubs, I have 3 club winners, no more potential winners there. So I have 7, that's 3 club winners. I have 8 winners. I still need 1 more winner, right? And the best place for me to create that 1 more winner is diamonds, right? So what I want to do here is I'm going to want to hold up until one person runs out of spades. Now, I know something from the auction here. I know that East has probably 6 spades, right? East opened a weak 2 bid. So I'm placing 6 spades in this hand and therefore 2 spades in the West hand, right? So in this case, the opening lead is the queen. I'm going to allow that to win, right? And then the 3 of spades is led to the 10, jack, queen, king, whatever he plays. I'm going to win the second one. And I'm winning the second one because I firmly believe that West only has 2 spades, right? So there's no reason for me to duck a second trick, right? No reason to give East a second trick if maybe I can make all the tricks, right? It could happen. Probably not on this hand, but it could happen. So I duck once, I win the second one, right? And that leads us to this position. Now, my goal here is to set up my diamonds, and I have to lose a trick in diamonds, right? There's no way to avoid it. I'm missing 5 diamonds. I'm missing the queen. I'm missing the jack. Unless the queen jack were doubleton, which is very much against the odds, I have to lose a trick here, right? So since I have to lose a trick here, what I want to do is I want to choose who I lose the trick to, right? And this is an avoidance play that we looked at last week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over to the ace of clubs. I'll play a little club over to the ace. I'm going to play the 2 of diamonds from dummy, and I'm going to watch what East plays. And East will presumably play second hand low, the 6 or the 8, right? And I will put in the 9. And when I put in the 9, it's higher than East's card. East can't win that trick. The only person who could win that trick is West, right? And West will win the jack. But West is not the dangerous opponent. The dangerous opponent is East. East says a king, jack, 7, 5 of spades to cash. If he gets in, I'm sunk. So allowing West on lead doesn't hurt me, right? He gets on lead. If he plays a club, I win it. If he plays a heart, I win it. If he plays a diamond, I win it, right? He cannot play spades, the suit that hurts me. So whatever he chooses, he'll probably try a heart, trying to get his partner on lead, right? I'll win the heart in my hand. I play the king of diamonds. That takes 2 more diamonds from the opponent. I play a diamond to the ace. That removes the last diamond, which was the queen from East. And now my last 2, my 5 and my 3, or my 5 and my 10 probably are good. Okay. So diamonds, I had 8 of them to the ace king. I had to lose one, but I chose to lose it to the non-dangerous opponent. And I made him non-dangerous by holding up 1 round on the spades. East bid 2 spades. I used the fact that he had 6 spades against him. I ducked 1 spade. I won the second one. And then I made an avoidance play in diamonds so that only West could gain the lead. If you're careless on this hand and you just play diamonds from the top, you play the king of diamonds, you play the ace of diamonds, you play a 3rd diamond. The person with the 3rd diamond is, unfortunately for you, East. And East wins the queen of diamonds, right? And then cashes the king, the jack, the 7, and the 5. Okay, so we have to lose a diamond, choose who to lose it to, right? Do you always hold up? And do you always hold up to the maximum number? Well, you don't always hold up to the maximum number. You hold up until one person is exhausted, or if they have another one, it won't hurt you. But there are situations where you shouldn't hold up. First of all, never hold up if it's going to cost you a trick, right? In this situation, the opening leads a 7, dummy plays a 3, East plays the 9. If you don't take your king now, you're not going to get it, right? The king is not the ace. The king can be taken by the ace. So you have one chance to take that king of hearts, take it now, and then finesse the club and hope it wins, right? It's your only chance. If it loses, well, you're going down. If you duck the king of hearts, you're going down because the 9 will win, right? He'll play the jack, your king, ace, queen are over your king, right? Just bad things will happen. Okay. So if it will cost you a trick in some way, don't duck, don't hold up, right? You have to be careful that it is not going to cost you a trick. So if it's going to cost you a trick, just win the trick and then make your best play and hope things work out for you. Okay. If a switch to another suit would be worse, don't hold up, right? So in this case, opening lead is the king of spades. So in this particular case, declare could duck the king of spades, right? And it's sort of an interesting position because if West wins the king of spades, you play the 7 from dummy, the 6 from your hand, you still have the ace, you still have the jack, and actually West can't play another spade without giving you a trick, right? If he plays a low spade, you duck it to your jack. If he plays the queen, your ace wins and your jack's good. So ducking it looks like it would be effective here in stopping them from playing spades, but you actually don't want them to win the trick and force them to another suit because you have a suit that is just absolutely ripe for running, right? If you duck the king of spades, they will probably switch to a heart, right? And a heart to the ace and a heart back through your queen, and they take the first 4 heart tricks. Plus, they already won the king of spades, and you're down 1 before you started. So, if the opponents could switch to a suit that will damage you worse than the one that has been led, it will be better to win the one that is led. In this case, just counting my tricks, I have the ace of spades, that's 1, right? I have 5 diamonds, that gives me 6 total. I have the ace king of clubs is 2 for 8, right? And my only source of another potential trick is the jack of clubs. I could take a club finesse here, right? If West has the queen of clubs, I can make an extra club trick, right? And if East has the queen of clubs, well, I'm going down, but I was going down anyway, right? So it's my only shot at this. So king of spades, don't duck it, win the ace. You cannot afford to let them switch to a heart. Win the ace, right? Play a diamond back to your ace, play a 5 of clubs from your hand, West plays the 3, put in the clubs, jack of clubs, and hope, right? It's your only hope. It wins today because West has the queen. You took a club finesse, 50-50, right? You take the king of clubs, you go back to your hand, you take the ace of diamonds, you run all your diamonds, et cetera, et cetera. You have 9 tricks. You get out without ever giving the opponents the chance to take all their heart tricks, all right? So 2 reasons not to hold up. One, this one is that another switch suit would be worse. And don't hold up if your stopper won't hold up. Don't hold up if it's going to cost you a trick, right? There's one last reason that I didn't put on here because I do think it should be self-evident, but if you have all the remaining tricks, don't hold up, right? If you could take the remaining number of tricks that there is no reason for you to surrender a trick, right? So 3 possibilities. One I didn't actually put on your list, okay? At this point, I'm going to switch over and let's just look at a couple of quick examples of hands. Let's see this in actual action, right? So this is going to be hand 2 in your practice packet, right? Practice hand number 2, right? So one's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to skip over 1 and let's look at number 2. Opening lead here is the 7 of spades. Let's take a moment and count your winners, right? You have in spades, well, you'll get 1 spade trick, right? They let it, and you have the king. So let's count 1 spade. Hearts, I have 5 good ones, right? But I'm missing the ace. I have no heart tricks right now. Ace, king of clubs is 2. So that's 3 tricks so far, right? I have 5 diamonds. That's 8 tricks. So I'm going to need 1 more trick. And the only place where I'm going to be able to get that 1 more trick is hearts, right? So I'm going to have to, at some point, lose the ace of hearts. Things don't look that great to me here, right? I'm a little worried about this hand, but after the opening lead, it gets a little better in that East plays the ace, right? I can't win that. And the good news is once the ace is played, my king is now the high card in the suit, right? And I am now in a situation where I can choose to win the king or I can choose not to win the king, right? I am in a position where if I choose to, I could hold up the king on the next trick. I don't have to play it. I could play it. How many spades did I start with? I started with 5, right? So the opponent started with 8. So I'm worried that if spades are 5-3, the opponents will be able to take 4 spade tricks plus the ace of hearts. So I do want to hold up here. I want to exhaust East of his spades, right? So when East plays back the jack, I play low, right? But on the 3rd round, I have to win my king, right? Now, this was different from the example we just talked about where you weren't allowed to duck the king, right? Because the ace was played on the first trick. My king was now equivalent to having the ace, right? In the example in your packet, the ace was still in West's hand, right? It was not played on the first trick, so you had to take your king. You didn't have a choice. So I win the king on the 3rd round. That exhausts East of his spades, right? That's good for me. I have to play hearts. I might as well do it now. Don't play off the clubs first. Don't play off all the diamonds first. Do what you have to do now, right? If you play off the clubs, the opponents will get in and they'll take some clubs, and that's not good for you, right? So king of hearts, right? Now East also has a choice. He doesn't have to win that trick either, right? He could let you win that one, but you keep going, right? You play the jack. You should overtake the jack with the queen because you have the 10, the 9, and the 8, and you want to keep playing the suit, right? I think East will probably win this one because he knows you don't have any more. He can count to 13 as well. East is on lead, but West has the 2 spade tricks. East, non-dangerous. West, dangerous. East gains the lead here. Whatever he chooses, right? Probably a club in the hopes that his partner has the ace, but no good. You have the ace, right? And at this point, you have more tricks than you could possibly need, right? All your hearts are good. The king clubs is good. All the diamonds are good. You have a couple of extra tricks, right? So the defense took 3 tricks. You took 10 tricks. You can make 4, right? The unusual piece here was after the opening lead, we only had the king and we were thinking to ourselves, oh, I'm gonna have to win this king and I'm gonna have to hope for 4 spades. But when they play the ace on the first trick, which they should because they don't know where the king is, if you had the queen and partner had the king, then ace is exactly the right card. It's the right choice, but it makes your life easy because now you can hold up the king, right? Okay. And now you've exhausted them. All right. Let's have a look at one more hand here. So this is hand 3 in your packet. We have another auction here. North opens a club. East bids a spade. South, you got 13 points, balanced hand. You got a spade stopper. You don't really have anything to bid here. I think I would just bid 3 no trump, right? Is it perfect? No, but you know, you got 25 points together. You got spade stopper. Go for it, right? So opening lead is going to be the jack of spades because his partner bid spades, right? So they're attacking, one of your weak spots, but we'll do the best we can, right? Looking at this hand, count your winners. You have the ace of spades is 1. The ace of hearts is 1 for 2, right? Ace king of clubs is 2 more for 4. And 4 diamonds get you up to 8. So I have 8 tricks. I need 1 more. Best place for more tricks, clubs, right? So in this case, I'm going to want to set up club tricks, right? And I'm going to want to set up club tricks in such a way so that the dangerous opponent doesn't get the lead. Who's the dangerous opponent? Well, it's going to end up to be East because East is the one with the long spades. He bid 1 spade. I'm pretty sure he's got 5 spades on this hand. So as a result, if he has 5, West has 2. And in order to exhaust West of spades, I need to duck once, right? I hold up my ace 1 round. And on the second round, right, I win the ace, and I am pretty certain West no longer has any spades. So all I need to do now is set up a club trick while losing only to West. So this is a situation where you have ace 9, you have king 10, right? So we want to make a play through East and avoid East gaining the lead. So if I want to play through East, I have to get to the dummy. I'll go over there with the ace of diamonds. And when I lead the 2 of clubs from here, East is most likely going to play second hand low, right? And I will play the 9. All right. And when I play the 9, I'm not expecting to win the trick. I'm expecting to lose the trick, but I'm expecting to lose the trick to West. All right. West wins the jack. And what does he do? If he plays a heart, I win it. If he plays a diamond, I win it. If he plays a club, I win it. Whatever he does, he's sunk. He's probably going to try a heart, right? We make sure pop up with that ace. Don't hold it now. You don't want East on lead, right? And now I play another club to the ace. I watch the opponents. I see that they are breaking 3-2, so that the queen is definitely going to fall under my king, right? And I have 2 more good club tricks, right? At which point, I also have the king, queen of diamonds left, right? I think I accidentally threw away a diamond winner. I think I could take 3 more tricks had I not discarded poorly. But either way, I'm going to make my contract, right? I should make 10 tricks here. I think I've snookered myself into making 9, as we all do now and then, right? So jack of spades lead, right? I know from the auction that East has 5 spades, so I know I only have to duck once, right? I hold up the ace 1 trick. I win the second one, and then I make an avoidance play to avoid giving East the lead because East is the dangerous opponent, right? And then I am home free, right? At this point, I'll keep all my diamonds this time and I'll make 10 tricks. If you get lazy on this one, right? First of all, if you win the first spade, then whoever wins the club is going to have a spade to play. But if you successfully execute your hold up, but then you say, okay, I'm just going to play clubs. You play the ace, right? High card from the short side is what we've always taught you, right? Once we teach you something, then we have to teach you all the exceptions, right? Low to the king. And then when you play a third club, who wins it, right? You didn't control who would win the trick, and the wrong person won the trick. And at this point, he is able to take all of his spades, right? And you'll end up down 1. So 2 successful components to the hold up. Hold up, right? Make one of the opponents dangerous, one of the opponents not, and then do your best not to lose the lead to the dangerous opponent, right? You won't always be successful, but do your best to not lose to that person. All right. That is our last hand. So I will see you in class.